Hi, my name is Amir, and I'm here with Nick Law, and he's the Worldwide Chief Creative Officer of RGA. And he just gave us a wonderful talk to the ADFEST audience today about being a brand badass, and we managed to catch him just to have a few minutes of his time, hopefully not more than that, to talk to him about being a brand badass and how do you be a badass in general when it comes to advertising. So, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, you've been a designer. You started out as a designer in Sydney, and then you went on to go into digital, and then now you're finally the Worldwide Chief Creative Officer.
Yeah.
So, what keeps you on your toes, and what motivates you to continue being a badass in life?
Badass I am. You can't say that without saying it in an American accent.
Yeah.
Badass.
Badass.
I mean, the most important thing is I've always enjoyed my work. I've never felt like I needed to achieve some balance between work and life because I like my work so much. It is my life. So I don't find it difficult to be motivated, and also now I think more than ever, it's just so interesting because things are changing quickly. There's always new opportunities. There's always new problems to solve, and new ways of doing what we do. So it's a pretty interesting time all over. I don't find it difficult to get up in the morning.
Right. That's good. There's that famous saying, isn't it? Like if you do what you love, you won't be working a day
Yeah, that's
in a
right.
life.
Yeah, I think I feel like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and how about when it comes to brands? What separates a badass brand from, a regular brand?
The simplest answer is courage. I think there's a lot of sort of tentativeness and second guessing and sort of cowardice, basically, around the marketing discipline. There's a lot of fear. Yeah. And I don't think it's so important that we should be worried about it that much, right? I mean, we should be honest with ourselves and try to make interesting things first and foremost, rather than worrying about making mistakes.
Right. Not every client is brave. You have a lot of risk-averse clients out there. So, and most of the time there are clients who treat agencies like suppliers rather than partners. So, how do you deal with these clients?
Well, every client's different. I've always said that my two favorite clients are clients that are a lot smarter than me, or ones that are so stupid they let us do what we want. The ones in between are difficult. But part of working in a service industry is trying to empathize with what your client wants. And if you've got a client that's tentative, you try to help them be braver. And sometimes things are just too complicated, and it doesn't work out. But the most important thing is to help them, really. I mean, in one sense we'll always be vendors, but if we're doing good work, then they'll depend on us more than that, right? So the ultimate goal always is to do work that's so good that they can't get it anywhere else.
Right.
And then I think the relationship builds from that.
Right. But that requires good talent. But the problem
Always.
is, the problem is that, we're losing a lot of our younger talent to, startups as well as tech companies. We're not as cool as we used to be. So, what do you think the industry could do better to attract and retain talent?
Even asking the question, what is the industry? Because I think 20 years ago, the industry was very defined and very siloed. It was sort of advertising and marketing, and it made some pretty predictable things. 30-second spots, print ads, outdoor. There were this sort of set of templates, and there were a bunch of clients that were buying those templates. Yeah. And the relationship was pretty sort of stable. Now, it's not surprising that things are less stable because the media environment has exploded, and everything's connected in such a profound way that making a piece of software is an option as opposed to making a message, for example. So, if you're a young creative person and you have a choice, and you've probably grown up learning how to code, but also learning how to make films, you have this sort of generation of young creatives that are very capable because they're self-taught, and they have this choice. Do I go and work at a startup and see if I can be the next Mark Zuckerberg, or do I, or to go to an agency? Now, for me, the reason to work at an agency is that we do a lot of different things with a lot of different clients. And I've actually seen this in the States where that first generation of young creatives that went to startups are now starting to come back because they realize that to succeed, there's two things you need to do. You need to work harder than anyone ever in the history of mankind. And then the second thing is that even then, you need to be struck by lightning to succeed. So it's not easy to make a startup work. So working at an agency, getting paid fairly well, is a pretty good option. So and I've started to see this in the States, that young creatives are coming into agencies, and they're helping change agencies too, right? Making them less about just doing advertising, more about understanding service design and social and that sort of thing. So I'm pretty confident that if agencies work to their potential, that we'll be able to get talent.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.